look, I'm not going to ask you hockey questions. That's a weird way to start a show. I don't think I've ever said that. But Alex Ovechkin just broke the Wayne Gretzky scoring record. You mostly don't care. We're not talking about that. But it is an interesting jumping off point. Read a really interesting thing. I don't think they meant it to come out the way we're going to use this, but it did. It does serve the conversation pretty well. So then it's a Yahoo Sports thing about him breaking the record, and we're not going to do details about that. And then it had a list of records that have been broken. And I thought, man, if you just sit back, it sort of works pretty well over a cup of coffee, a good glass of wine, beer, whatever. If you sit back and start to go through these, you can't help but start to ask yourself, or anybody else for that matter, yeah, well, that would be broken. Well, that would be broken. Is that going to happen? So I said, Brandon, about 32 seconds ago. So wait a second. I can turn this into a little buy or sell action. So let me set it up for you, and then you can. There's no perfect answer. It's just good argument content, because I think there's some of these that will be broken, and I think, and you're going to think otherwise, some of these have no chance of being broken, and then some are sort of stuck in that middle place that we are now starting to think, you know what, that record might get broken. I never thought of that before, but I kind of do now. So I thought, yeah, I can turn this into a little buy or sell, turn it back on you. So you either buy or you sell each one of these records, whether or not they'll be broken. Some are way too nerdy and not even worthy of the conversation. And the two that come to mind right off the bat would be Cy Young's 511 wins. Just stop there. And John Wooden coaching at UCLA winning 12 championships. That's not going to happen either. But the rest, some are debatable. Some I think are no chance. You can go either way you would like. So on each one, you can either buy it or you can sell it that it's going to be broken in your lifetime or out of your lifetime. Don't really care. All right, first up is Pete Rose's 4,256 career hits.
Buy or freaking sell.
Okay, there's no way you can comprehend this, right? So I started reading about this. Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers this is how amazing the Pete Rose record is. He's the active leader with 2,270 hits as of a few days ago. If he averages 181 hits a year, got it? Follow the math here. He'll need to play at the exact same level until his late 40s to catch Pete Rose. Pete Rose had 172 hits at the age of 41, and he played until he was 45. Buy or sell that record is broken. I'll mostly sell that. There's just too much money. I can't see a guy playing that long. I don't see it. I don't. This one I know. Buy or sell on this one. This one I know. No chance, no way. And Cal Ripken played 2,632 consecutive games. Okay? Put this in perspective. Buy or sell on that.
Buy or freaking sell.
Jeff, why are you doing that? Just because. That's why. I'm selling that all day long. I put that in the category of there is no chance, not in your lifetime, not in your kid's lifetime, not in your grandkid's lifetime. No way. I mean, no way someone's going to play almost 2,700 consecutive games because guess what? There's no reason to do it. There was a reason at that time that Cal Ripken did it. Most of us remember the night. How about this? Matt Olson is his name. He has baseball's current active consecutive games played streak. Okay? And I'm not even sure it's, I think it's a couple hundred. He would have to play every single game through the 2036 season, and even then wouldn't catch the consecutive games played of 2,632. No chance, no way. And there's no reason to. I know Cal Ripken was getting paid a lot too at the time, But that was, he was chasing a record. He was an amazing player, an amazing, how he could stay healthy all those years. All that stuff worked perfectly. But the closer and closer it got, the more people talked about a record we never thought would be broken. And that was set by Lou Gehrig, who's a great story by himself. But that was the reason he did it. Nobody would chase this record again, I don't think. Why? There's no way you would last. Even if you wanted to, you wouldn't last. All right, buy or sell on this one. This is Jerry Rice's. This is crazy. I might buy that this one could be broken. Jerry Rice has 22,895 career receiving yards. Now, there's no way to put that in perspective yet, but would you buy or sell that somebody eventually breaks that?
Buy or freaking sell.
Well, here's the issue. Okay, was almost at 23,000 career receiving yards. People forget that how late into he was 41, I think? And he was still playing effectively at 41 with the Raiders. But this number is ridiculous. I sell this. I do. I sell this. Most of this stuff, the question is, how long can a player stay healthy? I can't see it. The closest active player we now have to say in past tense was Julio Jones. Guess where he is? He just retired last week. So then that means the next up, chasing the Jerry Rice record, would be, oddly enough, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay? He's at 12,965 yards. To put it in perspective how amazing Jerry Rice's career was. And I say all the time, Jerry Rice is the best offensive player ever to play the game. Period. I'm not going to say necessarily the best. He's the best offensive player of all time. His records are absurd. And this is in modern era. He has 22,895 career receiving yards. So let's just take the leader right now is DeAndre Hopkins. Okay? He has 12,965. It's been a very good career. It's been a long career, and he's still playing. So he'll add to it. He would have to average 1,238 yards a season, and he would need to play for another 8 years until he's 41 to catch Jerry Rice. I sell. I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens. Next up, buy or sell. Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowl titles.
Buy or freaking sell.
I sell. But Mahomes, okay, fair argument. I still sell. All right, so Patrick Mahomes has what, 3 now? Okay, 3. Tom Brady has 7. A lot has to go your way. A lot. And not just be Mahomes and be a great player. You've got to be on a team. I mean, sooner or later, I know we keep saying, but the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Mahomes and the Chiefs, the organization. Yeah, they keep hanging around there. And I suspect they'll sort of hang around next year. But he's got to get 4 more. I mean, you expect that organization to be that close 4 more times? Some people think so. Many of you might think so. Tom Brady has it at 7. I do think eventually somebody catches that. I don't know. If it's not Mahomes, then who would it be? I don't know. Somebody will come along. Some organization will get lucky, have a great player, that great of a coach. It'll work again. I find that to be one, as crazy as it sounds. I think that's one I would buy. I think somebody might get there eventually. Emmitt Smith's. I think we're going to disagree on this. People gloss over Emmitt Smith's career. Lost in it is playing on those great teams. Emmitt Smith's record is 18,355 career rushing yards. Are you buying or are you selling that somebody someday breaks that?
Buy or freaking sell.
Yeah, that. No. No way. Now, I mean, I don't know. Eventually, does running back mean as much as it used to mean when Emmitt Smith was playing? It's possible. the vibe right now is it means more than it did even 3 years ago with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. So I could see why you would think it. I just don't think people can stay that healthy. And I don't think they want to. I don't. I think most of these crazy records in the NFL are probably not going to be broken because guys just aren't, one, going to stay that healthy, and two, they're not going to need nor want to play that long anymore. I know Emmitt Smith was rich too, but it's, the economics of the NFL, the salaries are going up 30% almost a year now. And I don't know of a running back that could pull it off. Here's the closest example, and you've probably already thought of this. So Emmitt Smith was at 18,355. So Derrick Henry would be chasing Emmitt Smith. Derrick Henry had a great season. There is an advantage, though. This is why I think some of you would argue that somebody breaks Emmitt Smith's rushing record, and that is they're playing 17 games now, and more than likely they're going to play 18. We're going to end up at an 18-game regular season. You watch. So Derrick Henry right now is 11,423. This is kind of within the ballpark. He averages 1,428 yards in a 7-game season. Emmitt Smith played for 15 years. 15. Derrick Henry's a freak of nature. That means Derrick Henry would have to stay at the exact same clip, the exact same numbers, for another 6 seasons. He's played for 9. So he's got to look at another 6 to 7 seasons to catch Emmitt Smith. I don't doubt that he gets close. I don't. But after that, why would somebody keep up at that kind of pace? What kind of player at running back can stay that healthy? All right, LeBron James. This is weird to me. LeBron James has 42,000 and then some because he's still adding to it. So let's just say he'll have, let's just start at 42,000 career points. Buy or sell that somebody breaks that record.
Buy or freaking sell.
I'll sell. And here's why. I probably would have, until I read about this, I'd buy that. I'd assume somebody will come along and somebody will play a long time and somebody will drain a bunch of threes and somebody will break LeBron James' all-time scoring record. Until I read this. Luka Doncic, his teammate, trails him by 30,000 points. 30,000. All right, this would be one of the greatest scorers the greatest scorer in the game today. He trails by 30,000 points. He would need to continue at the exact same rate that he's at, leading the league in scoring. He would need to do that another 15 years to catch LeBron James. I'll sell that. No. How about this? Barry Bonds, 73 home runs in a single season. Buy or sell it?
Buy or freaking sell.
I know, blah, blah, blah. Steroid era, Jeff. Yeah. Seen that documentary on Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa? It's really, as usual, it's really well done. Okay, well, here we go. Bonds, McGwire, Sosa, blah, blah, blah. Right now, let's see. There's 53 from Pete Alonso. Was that last year? No, Aaron Judge at 62. So I'll buy this one. I can see it. I could see that. I could see it in the next 15 years. I mean, 73 and Aaron Judge had, was it last year or the year before? It's all blur now. 62 this past, right? Last year. Yeah. He was at 62 last year. What about the torpedo bat? See? There you go. I'll buy that 73 is doable. I see that happening. I see that happening in probably less than 20 years. Here's one. Tom Brady's career passing yards. Are you buying or are you selling that somebody breaks this record?
Buy or freaking sell.
Well, guess who the closest active, can we say that? Does Aaron Rodgers have a team? I don't know. I'm not sure. But if he does have a team, Not that they'll want to stick with him very long, but if he does have a team, he is the active leader at 62,952 yards. All right? Tom Brady at 89,214. So Aaron Rodgers, with a few more years, could catch him. Yeah, well, there's a problem. Anybody want to give Aaron Rodgers a few more years? You seen how it's working out lately? You think that's the way it pans out? I don't see that. I don't see Aaron Rodgers breaking that record. If you want to bet, I'll bet with you all day long. One, he won't stay healthy enough. Two, a team is just not going to need him that much longer. Three, they're not going to want to put up with him that much longer. No chance. But here's the guy that might. Exactly who you would think. Now, then we have to debate whether or not Patrick Mahomes plays into his 40s. I don't know. I mean, he's kind of chubby. He's certainly not Brady, but he's ridiculously good and stays ridiculously healthy. Patrick Mahomes now is at 32,352. He would need to play at pretty much the same level, the same clip, until his early 40s to catch Tom Brady. Now, the upside for Patrick Mahomes, I buy this one. I do think he eventually catches Brady. I do think eventually this is what keeps him in the game. I do. At some point, Patrick Mahomes, these records that he'd be chasing start to matter, and I think they start to crystallize. So I could see him wanting to stick around long enough to get this. And here's why I give him a chance, and I assume he does it. I'd buy this. They're going to have 17, 18 games. I think he gets here pretty quickly. I do. I think that one's broken. I think that one's easily broken. And the question is, does Patrick Mahomes break that by the time, if he wants it, because he's going to make all the money, does he break it by the time he's 40? And I'd buy, yeah, probably so. Here you go. Golf nerds. Yeah, I said it, golf nerds. Buy or sell. Jack Nicklaus's 18 majors.
Buy or freaking sell.
Yeah, I know. But Jeff, Tiger Woods, until he started completely falling apart, he was going to do it. I know. What do you think the chances are somebody dominates the sport like that again? Scotty Scheffler, okay. Currently, so Jack Nicklaus was at 18. Brooks Koepka currently leads all active male players, and he would need another 14 majors to catch him. I'll sell that. I'll sell it because the money is too big, the competition too deep. Golf, there's just too many talented players with too much money on the line that, I don't see a Tiger Woods run again. I'll buy that one stays. The 18 stays. There you go. There's others, but those are, I think, the most relevant for conversation, relevant for debate. Those are ones I think that come on that, like John Wooden's record at UCLA. There's just no chance. That's stupid. No one can coach that long, and nobody in the men's game is even going to come close to chasing that. But the rest of these, especially the football records, I think some of those are doable, and they're doable in our lifetime.